Hey guys, what is up? Kevin Cage back with another daily cryptocurrency video. Like and sub if you like what you see on the road to 15,000 subscribers. Thanks so much. One thing I just wanted to actually draw some attention to is, again, I have a giant cryptocurrency playlist on my YouTube channel. Some of the best videos I've done get the least amount of views. I'll do more in-depth research for that particular video. I'll give a comprehensive layout. And what I realize is they only have maybe 500 to 1,000 views, whereas the videos that I kind of just will throw out, perhaps there will be a clickbait like title. I'll get 10,000 views. Everyone will still like them. But guys, I have much better content that, I guess people just don't really see. So again, it just goes to show people don't care about the true info and the fundamentals. They just want the hype. And, a lot of people disagree, but again, stats are stats. So, just keep that in mind. Keep an eye out for different videos because in every single video, I'll try to keep, at least one nugget of information that makes all of it worth it. So with that, let's get into this. So I am Legion on Twitter. Every time there's been a stock market party, it has ended in a crash. Now, how many do you think was sure it would continue up when you look at these points just before all-time highs? In order to have a crash, you need all-time highs. People talk about it, like it. So let's just take a look at this. Late 1980s, boom. All-time high, crash. The dot-com bubble, same thing. Housing bubble. And then as we're approaching 2020, I guess we could just call this the everything bubble because we have no idea what is going to happen. I mean, everything. We're talking interest rates. We're talking student loans. I think everything is just going to hit at one time. And this could potentially be one of the honestly, worst, whether it's a recession or depression we've ever seen. And this is pure speculation, not financial advice. I'm not trying to scare anybody to invest in digital assets. But to me, I see that as, one of the few hedges that exist today in the marketplace. And I would stay away from stocks for the time being. Again, we might even see more all-time highs before that crash, but I'm not willing to risk it, and it's simply a matter of time. But I just wanted to share that graph. Next, this was actually around a while back, but I thought it was worth the show. So this is, I believe it's Rose2000NI on Twitter, so it's ROS, and just talking about the real Satoshi, and this is a cool little screenshot. And again, just makes you think. So just think Satoshi Nakamoto, Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, and Motorola. Really makes you think who the true, obviously it's a pseudonym, but it does make you wonder. Just wanted to share that for some entertainment purposes. All right, next, I am Legion, and he's just kind of quoting here. So Stephen Thomas, former CTO of Ripple, the private company, is discussing settling on the Interledger Protocol, ILP. And again, it's pretty funny. He talks, he says you can settle, checks, gummy bears, gold, whatever, honestly, like anything, any form of fiat, tokenized real estate, any type of digital asset that you decide. And so it's very, very interesting as we go down here, along with this thread. R3, Instant Property Network. Join the next phase of the Instant Property Network, streamlining the transaction of property to unlock the $217 trillion market. And as you can see, just a little infographic down below, how that would work in that marketplace. Again, R3 will unlock trillions of dollars in terms of settlement, whereas Ripple will work on the billions of dollars to get us started, build that liquidity, get all those corridors going, proof of concept for XRP, and then we'll be able to send larger value payments with R3 on the Corda open sourced blockchain. On Corda, and they have different applications that are decentralized, known as Corda or dApps, decentralized / distributed applications. As we go right here, of course, we already know R3 launches the Universal Settler application to facilitate global payments on Corda. XRP is the first settlement mechanism. And R3 does own a lot of XRP. They have a vested interest to see that. And then right here, I did take a picture, so let's just zoom in on this. It'll be easier. So right here, Corda Settler customers for R3. A big part of Corda Settler was, the big drive behind was we have users that are going live this year, that they are looking to get access to different payment rails, getting access to settlement. They would love to do that on Corda, and also they would love to initiate it from Corda. So this gives them a way to get them going or get going now. Todd McDonald, Chief Product Officer, R3, February 20th of 2019. And again, we have two options. Settle with XRP instantaneously, or option 2, stick with what you know, stick with Swift, this 40-year-old plus legacy system, Swift GPI. But at the end of the day, it's still not true settlement. Swift GPI is still just a fancy messaging layer, and it has, the credits and debits, the only true form of settlement where all of the cost savings, efficiency, security, scalability, and transparency lie is on XRP, and they'll be utilizing Corda. And this will be able to send trillions of dollars when we plug this in. And again, people are going to be testing the waters. There's been proof of concepts. There's been trials for years. It's simply a matter of time. This is one of the many, many reasons why I am so incredibly bullish. This is why I am making videos on YouTube to spread this information, because I truly, truly think we are onto something. All right. So wanted to share that. Even, Brad Kimes right here. Love the gummy bears line. So that's really, really funny. I wish I could show you this, but go ahead and, check this out. Stephen Thomas was just saying it to be comical, but he's 100% true. I am Legion. Give him a follow. Next, this is _XRP_. So distributed 23 on Twitter. The parallels to what Ripple is doing, the company, are, absolutely mind-blowing. And this is the book 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, not Thiel. It's Peter Thiel, one of the first investors in Facebook as well. I've read a lot about him. I've read 0 to 1. I've read a bunch of books. He was, one of the beginning guys in the PayPal mafia, along with Elon Musk and some other like-minded individuals that I talk about a lot. But really quick, I just want to show you this right here. So let's just pretend that we're talking about Ripple compared to Bitcoin, whereas right here they're using eBay and PayPal as an analogy. Stick with me, this is important. So, whoever is first to dominate the most important segment of a market with viral potential will be the last mover in the whole market. At PayPal, we didn't want to acquire more users at random. We wanted to get the most valuable users first. That's what Ripple's doing. They're not worried about Bitcoin having that name. They are getting the biggest of the big. They are already tied to 15 of the world's top central banks. Next, the most obvious market segment in email-based payments was the millions of immigrants still using Western Union to wire money to their families back home. Our product made that effortless, but the transactions were too infrequent. We needed a smaller niche or niche market segment with a higher velocity of money, a segment we found in eBay power sellers, the professional vendors who sold goods online through eBay's auction marketplace. There were 20,000 of them. Most had multiple auctions ending each day, and they bought almost as much as they sold, which meant a constant stream of payments, constant liquidity. And because eBay's own solution to the payment problem was terrible, these merchants were extremely enthusiastic early adopters with PayPal. Once PayPal dominated this segment and became the payments platform for eBay, there was no catching up on eBay or anywhere else. And this is what I believe XRP is positioned. This is where Ripple's really, really positioning XRP during this entire bear market. You guys, can see the different psychological trends of investing. But again, this is the building time. They are building head down after the typical hype of the first bubble of any emerging nascent technology, and they are building that infrastructure. They are getting more and more corridors lit up. We've had nothing but good news this entire time. We've had a few FUD campaigns, and there was actually proven that people were being paid thousands of dollars to write negativity about Ripple and the digital asset XRP online. There was one gentleman, I'll have to find his name. He was paid $40,000 per negative article he wrote online. Why? I'm curious. Next, Richard Gendall Brown at Gendall, Gendal. Balanced piece from Ryan Gledhill of I've No DLT comparing Corda blockchain. We got Quorum and the Hyperledger Fabric for enterprise use cases and explaining why he chose Corda for his project. And honestly, as an XRP investor, this is great to see. Corda, again, the open sourced blockchain platform of R3. And so as we take a peek at this article, so I actually read this whole thing, very, very informative. And again, just choosing why explaining why he chose Corda over the other competition in this marketplace today. I did reference this earlier, Gartner's hype cycle, so we can see kind of where we're at in terms of this after that huge bubble, all of the hype coming along with that. Now we are here at the plateau of productivity. In my opinion, this is where, Ripple, R3, SBI, Coil, they're all just putting their heads down and they are building that infrastructure, getting ready for that next takeoff. Eventually, the reality is going to be so great and the price won't reflect it. So the price will then have to reflect that true perspective that we have now. But after this, there is a lot of disillusionment, and it will take some time for us to kind of snap out of it again. And this is just the typical psychology. Again, markets are based off of psychology. You can look at trends, you can look at patterns, cycles, you can look at, technical indicators, RSI, MACDs, any type of trend lines. But at the end of the day, it is all psychological. All right, markets don't really make sense. As they say in The Wolf of Wall Street, it's all, a fugazi, it's fairy dust, it's made out of thin air, just like money, just like fiat, that is not even backed by gold anymore. It's really just backed by debt. So anybody that, isn't, in total agreement with digital assets being just as viable, if not more, are simply uninformed, or they're just, basing the reality off their own preconceived misconceptions. Right here, 28% says interoperability of systems is a key for success. It was 600 executives taking this, by the way. So the key tenets of enterprise DLT, distributed ledger technology, are right here. And it says that enterprise DLT needs to solve 5 challenges to be fit for purpose. So we have inherent data privacy, technical soundness, scalability, settlement finality, and interoperability, comparing Enterprise Ethereum Quorum, Hyperledger Fabric, and Corda with regards to these tenets. So we got Corda right at the center here, of course, his favorite. Again, he does warn that he comes off bias, but I just want to kind of talk about this and a few points that I saw that were very, very interesting that really set Corda apart. And that's why I'm very, very confident that R3 will succeed. And if you didn't know, the majority of the board members in R3, their board of directors, are highly connected in some of the same board of directors on Swift. I am so bullish. Remember, Swift is going to have to choose. Are they going to utilize Ripple? Doubt it. They're going to be using their own tight connections, their own network, using R3 to use Corda. It's simply a matter of time. So let's see where I wanted to cover. Scalability. So we got Corda. Enterprise offers multi-threading and increased throughput significantly beyond the OS figures. The DTCC, this is the Depository Clearinghouse, they're settling like 1.4 quadrillion US dollars per year, proved 6,300 TPS transactions per second, or 115 million daily trades through 170 disparate cloud-based nodes. The DTC study reached 20,000 transactions per second, with each full trade requiring several consequent Corda transactions. Interesting. So this could be better expressed as 6,300 trades per second. That's a lot. All right, so we were just talking, that's just one little taste, and R3 is tightly connected. There's already been trials with this behemoth, probably one of the biggest monsters. And for people that say XRP can't even reach $100, you don't understand the technology, period. 100 billion circulating supply, you say that's a lot? Yeah, maybe for other altcoins that don't have a true use case, this is probably one of the greatest things, and this is why XRP is best positioned to help during the global liquidity crisis. It's happening right in front of our eyes. All right, interoperability. Corda's, obviously a lot better positioned. Remember, right here, we have an internet of nodes, as it says right here. And really, with ILP, we have networks of networks. And that's what's going to happen, allowing this interoperability between all people, whether it's peer-to-peer or walled gardens to walled gardens. And right here, Corda Settler even allows modules to be created to connect external payment rails instantaneously. We're creating easy gateways to connect everybody. So conclusion, when choosing an enterprise blockchain, as with any software, you must consider the pros and cons of the frameworks available and how each suits the design of your specific application. So maybe Corda is not best for every single application, but I am talking, for this guy, of course, but in terms of Swift and their network for settlement, there's no other choice. No other valid choice. All right, so I am extremely bullish. And again, this is written by Ryan Gledhill, so check him out. A Corda-based collateral token solution. All right. Next, XRP Crypto Wolf. Binance plans to launch Venus, similar to Facebook's Libra cryptocurrency, says Venus is an independent regional version of Libra. Libra was Facebook's crypto. And again, there was a lot of drama and a lot of, talk about it perhaps not being regulated in the United States, but it's not going to stop Libra. They are based out of, Switzerland? I believe their local offices are based out of there. They're going to continue to go. There's plenty of money in the world. Again, I believe Venus, just like Libra, will be a stable coin. Binance welcomes governments, companies, and organizations with strong influence to collaborate on Venus. And I was reading these comments here, and CZ Binance, to me, has always been a stand-up CEO. Whenever there were lost funds on Binance, he was actually responding to users on Twitter. If he couldn't get it back, he would actually refund them. Again, he's a billionaire. People will talk negatively about anybody. I saw a guy was calling him a crook. And again, yeah, that's your own view. Is he a bad guy? I have no idea. I'm not speaking for him. But what I want you to say is if you were in the same position, there's going to be 50% of the people that hate you and the other half is going to love you. So perhaps what if he's just passionate about this tech and actually wants to leave a dent in the universe, revolutionize the world of payments, and wants to beat Facebook, an already huge organization, to the punch? Maybe he's just passionate about it. Maybe he's ambitious. Why is he a crook? What has he done? So it just goes to show, I mean, whether he has done bad things, I can't say. And it doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is there's going to be naysayers everywhere, no matter who you are. So are you going to be a naysayer, or are you going to keep your mouth shut and focus on the positivity? Period. Just my thoughts. All right, XRP Crypto Wolf again. Japan's equivalent to Amazon e-commerce giants, and I believe it's called Rakuten, but again, I'm not Japanese, has publicly launched its cryptocurrency exchange with their own wallet. Customers can start spot trading in 3 cryptocurrencies: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. I don't know why they have Bitcoin Cash. I really have no idea, because I don't believe forked projects will really survive or thrive long term, but what do I know? And pretty funny how they do not have XRP. They choose Bitcoin Cash over XRP. I wonder why. Next, crypto plus real estate is the future. BitPay says crypto spending on real estate is going to double in 2019. So as we just take a peek at this article, I just wanted to share. So in 2017, during that huge bubble, everyone that bought Bitcoin early on, obviously they wanted to buy something with it. $20 million in real estate development and real estate sales. They were a huge, huge group. And they said in 2018, with the decline, it dropped to around 6 million in sales. And then, again, they do about... What is this? Let me control F really quick. Go up. Right here. So BitPay, the world's largest processor of Bitcoin with about 1 billion in yearly businesses. So it wouldn't surprise me to see in the next bull run, perhaps Ethereum will take off XRP. And it wouldn't surprise me to see an Ethereum at, way past the $1,500 or whatever the all-time high was. Maybe it's $1,400. I could see a, $4,000 Ethereum. They still have the platform, they still have the name brand for smart contracts, and perhaps it'll take a while for them to find something more superior, and this already has some, people building on it as well, which is great. I'm very bullish on Cardano, provided that IOHK and Emergo gets things going, and we do have an update next month, so I'm excited for that. But I think that people, will someday be able to pay for real estate in XRP and Ethereum and a lot of the other top projects as well. Just my thoughts. We will see what happens. But again, I still think that XRP will be used to settle real estate, regardless on the back end, if that is not the case. And lastly, we'll finish off with this. Fidelity adds XRP to the list of supported cryptos for charitable donations. My question to you is, they are acknowledging the top assets in receiving donations. They would not add XRP if they thought it was some security, that it was going to be delisted tomorrow. Again, it is here to stay. It is one of the longest living digital assets in this space before Ethereum. Keep that in mind. Its connections are all around. So I am bullish on XRP. I think it is superior to the gold of cryptocurrency. I think this is going to be not only just a mere store of value, but a true utility token, not an unregistered security. That is a joke. That is a pure FUD campaign, as Eric Cannon says as well on Twitter, and I appreciated that because I wholeheartedly agree. So with that, guys, comment down below if you want any topics for me to address. If enough of you do say that, I will try to make a video on it. But other than that, I will continue to cover all of this news each and every day. It would not surprise me to see a 50-cent $1 XRP in the near-term future, or short-term future. Can't even talk, guys. It's been a really, really long work day. Trying to put out some quality videos as well. The grind never stops. So with that, guys, I really appreciate everybody that likes, shares, and subscribes. Almost to 15,000 subscribers. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.